And now let me bring in our correspondent Barnaby Lo. He's right there on the island of Cebu. Barnaby, how are search and rescue efforts going where you are right now?
Well, you know, earlier during the day, we saw a 12-year-old boy's body in a van that was on its way to a morgue. And this boy was pulled out from the rubble of that landslide. And so that's definitely heartbreaking. There's a lot of deaths here. The latest death toll is 29, and the fear is that many more may have already died. But there's also hope. You know, we were able to talk to a man who said that he has relatives who were trapped in the landslide. But at 1 in the morning last Friday, or today actually, he said that he got a text message from his cousin saying that they're still alive. And then at around 4 p.m. local time, which is also Beijing time, there was a 50-year-old man who was rescued from the rubble. He's alive. And so there's hope. And the mayor of the city, Naga City, here in Cebu, she said that there are signs of life and that they will continue to follow these signs of life. They will not give up hope. And so they're very much saying that this is still a search and rescue effort, not saying that this is not going to be difficult. I saw the site. It was a huge expanse, and there are huge boulders that have buried the houses and the residents there. And so there's heavy equipment already trying to dig through the rubble. There's also more than 100 search and rescue workers there with hand tools helping out the operators of heavy equipment. And so they're racing against time. They're hoping to find survivors. Unfortunately, though, they have been finding more victims who have passed away. Mamang.
Well, Barnaby, as we just mentioned, Philippines is still reeling from another massive landslide. So is this landslide in any way related to Mangkhut, the largest typhoon this year?
Well, Typhoon Mangkhut could have been a contributing factor. You know, this area was not in the path of Typhoon Mangkhut. In fact, it's so far from the path of Typhoon Mangkhut, where in the central Philippines, Typhoon Mangkhut's path was in the northern Philippines. But Typhoon Mangkhut was so huge, so strong, that it enhanced monsoon rains here. And the rains could have been the last trigger, the final trigger of the landslide. But the fact is, this area is a known quarrying site. There have been quarrying activities here for many years. And in fact, a few weeks ago, they discovered a crack or cracks in the mountain that has been quarried. And so that's why they warned residents in 2 villages that are close to these mountains to evacuate. And in fact, they had already started evacuating. The problem was there is a 3rd village that's about 1 kilometer away from where the landslide started. They were not asked to evacuate, but they were hit hard by this landslide. And that's where we're finding many of the victims. But the Department of Environment and Natural Resources here, they've already put a stop to quarrying activities for at least 15 days starting today. And so we can expect the Environment Department to actually pin the blame on quarrying. But of course, the rains were also a contributing factor. But again, investigation is still ongoing. They're going to determine if, in fact, the quarrying activities were the major factor in the landslide. Mang.
Thank you so much, Barnaby, for bringing us the very latest from Cebu.